Well, hello there everyone, and welcome to my channel, Time to Cook. I'm Chef Christy. So today I'm doing something that I have never done before. I am making pickles. So I was recently given some cucumbers, and I love it when people share their homegrown produce with me. It is such a special treat, but I have to admit something to you. Cucumbers are probably my least favorite. I don't know why that is. I've just never really cared for them. And as crazy as this may sound, I do love pickles. I know, right? It doesn't even make sense. I don't like cucumbers, but I do love some pickles. So I was inspired to make my own pickles, and I was quite surprised at just how easy they are to make. And what I made is a bread and butter pickle, which is my absolute favorite. I love bread and butter pickles, and I can sit down and eat a jar, I swear. Yeah, and I know it's weird that I don't like cucumbers, but I love pickles. So I'm excited to share with you just how I made these delicious bread and butter pickles and show you how easy they are to make. So the first thing that I'm going to do is slice my cucumber very thinly using a sharp knife. You can also slice your cucumbers using a mandolin. I am also slicing up one sweet onion. And then I added about 3 tablespoons of salt. And I know that that may seem like a lot, but we want to try to draw out the water from the cucumbers. And I'm stirring to make sure that they're all coated with the salt. Then add plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 2 hours. And look, here you can see just how much water has come off of the cucumbers, and it's quite a bit. And then I'm just pouring my cucumbers into a colander. And then I'm just going to give them a good rinse. Okay, I have rinsed my cucumbers really good, just running them under some cold water. And now I'm going to work on the brine part that I will be cooking the cucumbers in. Now, after doing some research, I found that it is recommended to use a pot that is enamel coated, or maybe a glass pot versus a metal pot, because apparently the metal pot can transfer a metallic taste to your pickles, and we do not want that. So I have here my cast iron oval Dutch oven that is enamel coated, and that's what I will be using. So I'm just going to add the brine ingredients directly to this pot. So I have 1 cup of sugar, add 1 cup of an apple cider vinegar, now my recipe calls for 2 cups of white distilled vinegar. I am just a little bit shy of that. I have right around 1 3/4 cups. So I'm just going to put a little apple cider vinegar in there just so it equals 2 cups. All right. So 1 teaspoon of celery seed, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, and then what I have here is some pickling spice. This has your mustard seed, black peppercorns, and some clove. It has all of that in here, so I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the pickling spice. All right, so I'm going to move this on top of my stove, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil. All right, it is starting to boil, so I'm going to add my cucumbers. And I'm going to let these cook until everything is boiling, and then I'm going to turn the fire off. Just long enough to bring all these flavors together. All right, they are just starting to simmer, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire off. So in a very large pot, I have 4 of the rings and seals and 4 pint-sized mason jars, and I'm just going to bring all of this up to a simmer, which will sterilize everything and have everything nice and hot before I add my pickles to the jars. All right, so this water is starting to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire off, and then I'm going to carefully remove these jars. I'm going to place them on the towel here upside down to let them drain for a minute. And I'm removing the lids and seals as well. So now what I'm going to do is fill these jars with the pickles. And I do have this handy dandy canning funnel. That's what it's meant for. It fits right onto the mason jar. It's a nice wide mouth. I'm going to take a slotted spoon and I'm just going to begin to put these cucumbers in these jars. So I ended up with 3 full jars and then about a half of a jar. So I'm going to take this brine and I'm going to fill these jars up with all the extra brine that I have. So I'm taking a wet paper towel and I'm going to clean the edge of the jars, making sure there's no residue so that these will seal really good. And I'm just going to place the seal on each jar and then the ring. Making sure you tighten it really good. So these 3 jars I'm going to place back into my hot water bath here. Let them simmer for about 10 minutes. This jar, I'm just going to put this in my fridge. We'll eat this, I'm sure, really fast. There we go. For a hot water bath, you just want to make sure that that water covers your jars. So now I'm just simply going to take these out of the water very carefully. So I'm going to let these cool until I hear that wonderful little pop, which will let me know that they have sealed. It's always exciting when your jars seal, and all of my jars sealed on my pickles. Now I have canned a few things before. I don't have a lot of experience with canning, but that is definitely something I would like to do more of. And like I said, these pickles were super easy to make, and boy oh boy are they good. I am so excited. Delicious. They definitely have that delicious crunch to them. I cannot believe I've never made pickles before, but wow. I'm so impressed with how good these are. These are so delicious. I do not understand why I love pickles so much, but I do not like cucumbers. Is there anyone else out there like that? I'm just curious. Or am I the only strange person who doesn't like cucumbers but loves pickles? Well, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my very first attempt of making bread and butter pickles, and I think it was a success. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and as always, I will see you soon with more recipes.